New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, man. Great day to you, beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in the book, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that I wrote, guys, Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that that if you want to be wealthy, you can study wealthy people. Well, you can find our book by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. Well, great day to you, beautiful people. We're going to continue our journey into the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is a book here to help you to improve your good habits or build good habits and to break your bad ones. And so I don't know about you, but I am on a personal development journey to just simply get better, to improve, so I can improve my life. And that has a lot to do with my habits, right? My good habits and also my bad ones. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about how an accountability partner can change everything. How an accountability partner can change everything as we go through this book. Give me just a second. I got to put that down here. How an accountability partner can change everything. Something like that. How many guys that may be joining us here live, you have an accountability partner as it relates to improving your life, right? You have someone that you've allowed in your life to hold you accountable to greatness, to living your best life. And so that's what we're talking about here today. Very short chapter with us here today. Today's episode being brought to you by the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, also Black art inspired gifts. Shop Black with us by simply going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com. www.theblackbazaar.com. Everybody put in console hashtag accountability. Who are you allowing in your life to hold you accountable, right, to accomplishing, to doing the things that you say you're going to do? Because I found if I just rely on myself, I get some stuff done, but I don't get everything done. When I ask somebody in my life that says, hey, did you get that done? Hey, did you take that walk? Hey, let's walk together. I typically, will do more. We'll do it, all right, because someone else is watching, and I know they have my best interest at heart. So we'll be talking about accountability partners here today. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. After serving as a pilot in the World War II, Roger Fisher attended Harvard Law School and spent 34 years specializing in negotiation and conflict management. He founded the Harvard Negotiation Project and worked with numerous countries and world leaders on peace resolutions, hostage crisis, and diplomatic compromises. But it was in the 1970s and 1980s, as the threat of nuclear war escalated, that Fisher developed perhaps his most interesting idea. At the time, Fisher was focused on designing strategies that could prevent nuclear war, and he had noticed a troubling fact. Any sitting president would have access to launch codes that could kill millions of people, but would never actually see anyone die because he would always be thousands of miles away. My suggestion was quite simple, he wrote in 1981. Put that nuclear code in a little capsule and then implant that capsule right next to the heart of a volunteer. The volunteer would carry with him a big, heavy butcher knife as he accompanied the president. If ever the president wanted to fire nuclear weapons, the only way he could do so would be for him first, with his own hands, to kill one human being. The president says, George, I'm sorry, but tens of millions must die. He has to look at someone and realize what death is, what an innocent death is, blood on the White House carpet. It's reality brought home. When I suggested this to friends in the Pentagon, they said, "My God, that's terrible. Having to kill someone would distort the president's judgment. He might never push the button." Throughout the discussion of the fourth law of behavior change, we have covered the importance of making good habits immediately satisfying. Fisher's proposal is an inversion of the fourth law. Make it immediately unsatisfying. So we want to make our good habits satisfying, enjoyable, something that we want to do. But those bad habits that we want to break, we want to make them extremely unsatisfying. Just as we are more likely to repeat an experience when the ending is satisfying, we are also more likely to avoid an experience when the ending is painful. Pain is an effective teacher. If a failure is painful, it gets fixed. If a failure is relatively painless, it gets ignored. The more immediate and more costly a mistake is, the faster you will learn from it. The threat of a bad review forces a plumber to be good at his job. The possibility of a customer never returning makes restaurants create good food. The cost of cutting the wrong blood vessel makes a surgeon master human anatomy and cut carefully. When the consequences are severe, people learn quickly. When the consequences are severe, people learn quickly. The more immediate the pain, the less likely the behavior. If you want to prevent bad habits and eliminate unhealthy behaviors, then adding an instant cost to the action is a great way to reduce their odds. We repeat bad behaviors because they serve us in some way, and that makes them hard to abandon. The best way I know to overcome this predicament is to increase the speed of the punishment associated with the behavior. There can't be a gap between the action and the consequences. Now, I'm sure for those of us that are parents, we do this as we are raising and developing our children, right? When they do something bad, we immediately punish them so that they won't do that bad thing again, and it doesn't become a habit, a bad habit that they implement or that they do in their life. Or, of course, you probably do that if you're a good parent. But what about doing it for ourselves? Do we punish ourselves when we when we participate in a bad behavior? There's no one else to punish us. We're adults now. Do we discipline ourselves? Everybody put in console, discipline yourself. As soon as actions incur an immediate consequence, behavior begins to change. Customers pay their bills on time when they are charged a late fee. Students show up to class when their grade is linked to attendance. We'll jump through a lot of hoops to avoid a little bit of immediate pain. There is, of course, a limit to this. If you're going to rely on punishment to change behavior, then the strength of the punishment must match the relative strength of the behavior it is trying to correct. To be productive, the cost of procrastination must be greater than the cost of action. To be healthy, the cost of laziness must be greater than the cost of exercise. Getting fined for smoking in a restaurant or failing to recycle adds consequences to an action. Behavior only shifts if the punishment is painful enough and reliably enforced. In general, the more local, tangible, concrete, and immediate the consequence, the more likely it is to influence individual behavior. The more global, intangible, vague, and delayed the consequence, the less likely it is to influence individual behavior. Thankfully, there's a straightforward way to add an immediate cost to any bad habit. It's called creating a habit contract. Everybody put in console, habit contract. So we're going to talk about how to create a habit contract in this next section, and then we'll be done. A very short chapter today. The habit contract. The habit contract. What's going on? Scents for Less by, what's going on, Miss Brandy? Scents for Less by Brandy. I guess you sell some type of scents. Is it perfume, cologne, oils? I wonder what you do once you sell. This is very interesting. The habit contract. Right. The first seatbelt law was passed in New York on December 1st, 1984. At the time, just 14% of people in the United States regularly wore a seatbelt, but that was all about to change. Within 5 years, over half of the nation had seatbelt laws. Today, wearing a seatbelt is enforceable by law in 49 of the 50 states, and it's not just the legislation. The number of people wearing seatbelts has changed dramatically as well. In 2016, over 88% of Americans buckled up each time they got in a car. Authentic perfume and cologne. Okay. All right. I had to check out your page. Right. In just over 30 years, there was a complete reversal in the habits of millions of people. What's going on, brother Aaron? How are you? We come on at 8 o'clock now, by the way, in case you were wondering, Ron. Laws and regulations are an example of how government can change our habits by creating a social contract. As a society, we collectively agree to abide by certain rules and enforce them as a group. Whenever a new piece of legislation impacts behavior, seatbelt laws, banning smoking inside restaurants, mandatory recycling, it is an example of a social contract shaping our habits. The group agrees to act in a certain way, and if you don't follow along, you'll be punished, right? Just as governments use laws to hold citizens accountable, you can create a habit contract to hold yourself accountable. Let me repeat that again. Cents for Less by Brandy.com. Check her out. Cents for Less by Brandy.com. That's Brandy with an E. That's a long website, by the way. That's a long name for a website. But anyway, just as governments use laws to hold citizens accountable, you can create a habit contract to hold yourself accountable. How many guys would agree that it's time for you to start holding yourself more accountable to your very own greatness? Think about that for a second. You create contract. You create a contract, a habit contract, to hold yourself accountable in order to discipline yourself. A habit contract is a verbal or written agreement in which you state your commitment to a particular habit and the punishment that will occur if you don't follow through. What's a habit that you want to commit to, that you want to get started, that you want to implement in your life, whether it be for your health, whether it be for your wealth, whether it be for your business, whether it be for your relationships, whether it be for your family, whatever. What's a habit that you want to commit to, right? You want to commit to that's going to improve your life, your well-being in some way, right? That you're also willing to add some type of punishment to it if you do not follow through, right? Disciplining yourself. Then you find one or two people to act as your accountability partners and sign off on a contract with you. Now, you put the contract together for yourself, but then you get your accountability partner to sign it, right? Now you have some accountability with someone else other than yourself, right? So Miss Brandon said, "Hey, I want to get better with time management." Right? I don't know whether that means that you're late to stuff, or time slips by, or you find yourself scrolling on. Like, I'll tell you one thing that I've been noticing. Right? This whole social media thing. Right? I love to engage and to connect and all that stuff, but I do need to limit. How much time I spend on it, right? Because I do have other things to do, right? So what kind of contract can I put together? So we'll find out what this looks like. You want to commit to working out daily? Okay, fantastic. So do you have a time that you'll work at? So do you have a time where you're going to work out every day? So for me, that's why I moved this to 8 o'clock, Ron, because we walk at 7 o'clock every morning. So 7 o'clock every day, I walk 30 minutes every day. So that's 30 minutes of walking or 30 minutes of jogging or whatever it is I'm going to do. But I'm moving 30 minutes every day. And I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks. I make it through another week. It's going to become a habit. And then we also have accountability partners. Other people walk with me. So that's why I have moved the book club to 8 o'clock of what we're doing right now. Right. So make a commitment, right? Put a contract together that will have some type of punishment that for you if you do not do what you say you're going to do, and find your accountability partner. Do you have an accountability partner? Brian Harris, an entrepreneur from Nashville, Tennessee, was the first person I saw. So it needs to be early. Okay, how early? What time? All right, early is define that time for yourself. What time can you commit to going to work out every day? Right? Is it 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning? Right? What time do you wake up? What time, where are you going to work out? Are you going to a gym? Are you working out at the house, in the garage? Let's start defining some of the where, the when, the what, and all that stuff. Brian Harris, an entrepreneur from Nashville, Tennessee, was the first person I saw put this strategy into action. Shortly after the birth of his son, Harris realized he wanted to shed a few pounds. He wrote up a habit contract between himself, his wife, and his personal trainer. The first version read, Brian's number one objective for Q1 of 2017 is to start eating correctly again so he feels better, looks better, and is able to hit his long-term goal of 200 pounds at 10% body fat. Below that statement, Harris laid out a roadmap for achieving his ideal outcome. Phase number 1, get back to a strict low-carb diet in Q1. Phase number 2, start a strict macronutrition tracking program in quarter 2. Phase number 3, refine and maintain the details of his diet and workout program in quarter number 3. Finally, he wrote out each of the daily habits that will get him to his goal. For example, write down all the food that he consumes each day and weigh himself every day. He then listed the punishment if he failed. If Brian doesn't do these 2 items, then the following consequence will be enforced. He will have to dress up each workday and each Sunday morning for the rest of the quarter. Dress up is defined as not wearing jeans, not wearing t-shirts, hoodies, or shorts. He will also give Joey, his trainer, $200 to use as he sees fit if he misses one day of logging food. Wow, man, he gave himself a punishment. I got to think about it. What's something I'm going to have to do? I'm either going to be rewarded for completing, right? Completing my commitment, right? Or I'm going to be punished. I'm going to have to punish myself. When's the last time you punished yourself for not doing something? Think about that as an adult, right? We got punished all the time when we were younger for doing something bad or not doing the right thing. But then we got older, how we actually be discipline ourselves with some type of punishment for not doing the things that we know we need to do for ourselves. So Aaron said, man, 7 a.m. in the morning, he's going to go work out in the park. And I'd imagine that's going to be some type of working out or running or walking. How long, Aaron, is going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour? How much time are you going to spend every day or whatever, if it's weekdays or whatever, in the park at 7 a.m. Eastern? Now, what you can do, Brother Aaron, is if you're going to be in the park, I can send you an invite at 7 a.m. That's going to be over on Facebook. And because we're walking anyway, so you can just connect. You can just connect with us, and while you're walking or doing what you're doing, we're doing what we're doing, and then that can become your accountability team. So we're doing it at 7 a.m. too, so we might as well do it together. At the bottom of the page, Harris and his wife and his trainer all signed the contract. My initial reaction was that a contract seemed like this seemed overly formal and unnecessary, especially the signatures. But Harris convinced me that signing the contract was an indication of seriousness. Anytime I skip this part, he said, I start slacking almost immediately. 3 months later, after hitting his targets for quarter 1, Harris upgraded his goals. The consequences escalated too. If he missed his carbohydrate and protein targets, he had to pay his trainer $100. And if he failed to weigh himself, he had to give his wife $500 to use as she saw fit. Perhaps most painfully, if he forgot to run sprints, he had to dress up for work every day and wear an Alabama hat for the rest of the quarter, the bitter rival of his beloved Auburn team. The strategy worked. With his wife and trainer acting as accountability partners and with the habit contract clarifying exactly what to do each day, Harris lost the weight. To make bad habits unsatisfying, your best option is to make them painful in the moment. Creating a habit contract is a straightforward way to do exactly that. 30 minutes to get some push-ups and pull-ups after a walk. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hold you accountable to that, Brother Aaron. And like I said, I can send you an invite when we do our 30-minute in the morning, and you just do it along right with us. You know, you do your walk, and then boom, get your push-ups and your pull-ups in. Even if where you gonna do pull-ups at the park? Is it the type of park they got bars and stuff? To make even if you don't want to create a full-blown habit contract, simply having an accountability partner is useful. Right. So Miss Sense for Less. What's something that you said? Time management. Right. Can you identify an accountability partner that will hold you accountable to doing better when it comes to the management of your time? Now you have to define it. I think it's important that you define what time management is for you. You know, saying time management, saying it all over the place is not definition enough to actually be held accountable to something. What's one thing that you can pinpoint that you're saying when it comes to time management, this is like the number one area or place that I struggle, right? This is the number one place where I struggle, and let's fix that one thing first, and then we can move to the other parts of time management that you can identify. The comedian Margaret Cho writes a joke or song every day. She does the song a day challenge with a friend, which helps them both stay accountable. Knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. Knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. You are less likely to procrastinate or give up because there's an immediate cost. If you don't follow through, perhaps they'll see you as untrustworthy or lazy. Suddenly, you are not only failing to uphold your promises to yourself, but also failing to uphold your promises to others. You can even automate this process. Thomas Frake, an entrepreneur, Boulder, Colorado, wakes up at 5:55 each morning. Social media time. Okay, so Miss Brandy, how much time do you spend on social media a day, roughly, if you were to guess, or if you to estimate? And if he doesn't, he has a tweet automatically scheduled that says it's 6:10 and I'm not up because I'm lazy. Reply to this for $5 via PayPal. Limit 5, assuming my alarm didn't malfunction. We're always trying to present our best selves to the world. We comb our hair and brush our teeth and dress ourselves carefully because we know these habits are likely to get a positive reaction. We want to get good grades and graduate from top schools to impress potential employers and mates and our friends and family. We care about the opinions of those around us because it helps if others like us. This is precisely why getting an accountability partner or signing a habit contract can work so well. All right. So at the very least, if you don't do the contract, get accountability partner. Ron, we're going to hold you accountable to your 30 minutes in a while. Are you going to start tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. You want to start tomorrow or start Monday? Let me know. Miss Brandy, 2 to 3 hours of social media time. Okay, so that's what you. Let's just say probably more like 3 hours. How much? Where do you want to cut that down to? Are you saying, how much time do you say is here's the maximum amount of time that I'm going to allot to spend on social media in a day? If I'm awake in the middle of the night, I'm on social media and sleepy in the morning. Yeah. So all right. So let's do this. 30 minutes. I think that's a little drastic. How about an hour? Because you got a whole day. It's 24 hours in a day. You might be using social media. I think you're talking about social media. I'd imagine, Brandon, that you probably use social media, to post about your business and stuff like that as well. So that's not bad. You're probably talking about your scrolling time and looking at what everybody else is doing. So let's go for an hour. Now, here's the thing. In the middle that's right. So to fix this problem, as far as you waking up in the middle of the night, getting on social media, being tempted to do that, all right, and then being sleepy in the morning, how about we put our phone on the charger somewhere else, right? Maybe it's in the bathroom, maybe it's on the dresser that's far away from you. So that way you won't be it won't be right there for you to grab. And I know that's difficult, but that's the habit. The habit is, okay, instead of putting my phone on the whatever you got next to your bed or on your bed or wherever you sleep, okay, I'm going to intentionally put my phone when I get ready for bed, whatever that time is for you, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12, whatever time you go. When I'm ready for bed, my phone, it's in your bed. That's the problem. My phone has to go on the charger, the furthest place away from me in the room. I got my alarm, so I'll hear that in the morning, right? And then if somebody called me this late, that's going to be a problem. But if it's somebody important, I'll get up and I'll answer it. But the whole purpose is to move it away from my bed so I can use my bed for what my bed is intended for, to sleep. And this should help me get better sleep. If I wake up in the middle of the night, that's fine. But I don't necessarily need to be tempted to go scroll and see what other people are doing. Right, you're scrolling till midnight. So that's 3 hours of time that's taken away from your sleep, taken away from your planning, taken away from meditation, taken away from you getting into a meditative sleepy state, scrolling social media, right? Being entertained. So how about this? How about from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. you do get your social media in, right? Make your connections, engage, see what's going on in the world, check out all your friends and all that stuff. From 9 to 10, at 10 o'clock, you got to cut it off. At 10 o'clock, it's got to go. How about can you set your phone up for like do not disturb or something like that from 10 o'clock to whatever time you wake up? Can you do it? Can you try it tonight? Say, okay, 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed. But here's the problem. We can't go to bed and scroll social media at the same time, right? So you can't go to the bed. I think from 9 to 10, whatever, you got an office, a living room, somewhere else, the kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna get my social media. You can't. The thing is, we have to separate my bed from social media. So we can't even do an hour in the bed, 9 to 10, on social media because we're still allowing our bed to be a place where we will participate with social media activity. So let's find a space wherever that is, right? On the toilet. I don't know where it is for you for that hour from 9 to 10. Here's where I will spend time scrolling through social media. That's not my bed. I'm going to use my bed to sleep. And then this is the space I'm going to set up, wherever that is, to go ahead and get my social media time in, right? And then separate it. If you separate the activity from the location and you create a new location for the activity, then I would hope that will help you to get better sleep. I hope that will help you to find other things to do, or not even other things to do, but just to rest. Sometimes you just need to rest. It may not be sleep. Sometimes you need to dream. Sometimes you need to journal or plan or think or whatever. I mean, let me ask you this. And here's the punishment. Let me ask you this. With this 3 hours, let's just say this additional 2 hours, what's something that you could be doing that's going to be beneficial? That's going to add to your business. That's going to improve your health, your wealth, your relationships, or whatever. I listen, because I had this problem as well. I have literally had, you know what I'm saying, my girlfriend or my lady friend right next to me in the bed while I'm scrolling on social media. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work, right? But because social media was it was entertaining. It captured my attention. But I got this beautiful sister right here next to me who ain't getting my attention because I'm so caught up with what's going on with social media. So separate them. You can get your hour in, but separate it, and I think that'll help. And you may find some other areas in your life that you can give that time to as well. You had the same issue, Aaron? Yeah, man. Hey, but we're getting better. We're improving. We're building our good habits and we're breaking our bad ones. In order to break those bad habits, we first have to be aware that it's a habit, right? Like, oh man, this is getting bad. This is not good. Put that thing down, right? It's okay. And here's the thing, Brad. It's okay to scroll for business ideas, but you don't have to scroll for business ideas for 3 hours. Just scroll for an hour. If you don't find what you're looking for in an hour, well, then you come back tomorrow. Or you listen. I don't think, and you tell me if this is true. I don't think 9 o'clock at night is a good time to be scrolling for business ideas. And I don't think you were really scrolling for business ideas. I think you started off thinking about business, but then you got caught up with whatever else was going on when you were scrolling. So here's something else that I do because I don't know where you scroll. So for me, here's what I do. I have my business page on Facebook that I have set up particular things in my news feed. So if you're on Facebook, you can have a news feed for business, and I scroll through business stuff there. If I'm on Instagram, right, I go to the search button. I hit the search button, and then in my search button, you can see what has caught your attention in search. So start changing that. What am I seeing when I go to my search button? And then the last thing I would say is on social media, is on YouTube. If this is where you're going, YouTube, start looking at what pops up in your YouTube feed. And then for things that do not relate to what you're trying to accomplish, growing your social media sites, start hitting the little 3 dots and hit not interested. So that stuff that captures your attention, that's not actually helping you to grow your social media, it stops popping up in your feed, and then you'll start getting things that you want. So what's popping up in my feed now? Personal development, audio books. You know what I'm saying? I'm into renting cars out now. So that started to pop up in my feed. I started saying I'm not interested in the games. I'm not interested in I don't know, just the BS. I'm not interested. So it stopped popping up in my feed, and I'll start getting things that I'm now interested in. I'm more interested in, and start popping up in my YouTube feed. So I don't know where you are scrolling, but that may help you with your social media, because you can still use social media to accomplish that. You can still use it to find things to help you grow your social media sites. Noelle Randall, right? Put that thing on priority. She's pretty dope with business stuff. Absolutely, right? Scroll for certain hashtags. Yeah, put a certain hashtag in. So I think it's how we using it, right? How we use it is going to be either healthy or be destructive. It's still valuable. We can still find what we're looking for, but be intentional on it as well. And again, I think separate being in bed, which is your time to sleep, from scrolling, even if it's for business. Don't do it in the bed. All right. Don't do it in the bed. Do it for an hour, 9 to 10. Right. And then start preparing, really getting your mind on going to sleep at 10 o'clock, not doing more work. I think that may help. That may help you to build good habits. So if you're back tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're gonna check and see did you reduce it? How did it go? So we're gonna hold you accountable if you show up tomorrow. Now, if you don't show up tomorrow, then that just tells me you didn't want to be held accountable. All right, that just tells me you didn't want to be held accountable. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. And then we've been talking about how an accountability partner can change everything, as we've been going through the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, we're almost done with this book, guys. We're almost done with this book. And then the next book we're going to read, I'll be 7:30, 8. I'll be back at 7. Okay, no problem. Your Central Time. I'll be going through the 7 vows of success. That's going to be next. It's going to be a 7-day journey. And then I'm actually decided to read Outwitting the Devil. So I was kind of iffy, but yeah, we're going to read that. And I got some more books I'll be sharing with you guys, allowing you to vote on what we read next. Okay. This, guys, I want to say thanks so much for joining us here today. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, and we absolutely will find it. Today's episode is being sponsored by the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art inspired gifts. Shop Black with us by simply going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. I want you guys to remember this, man, and it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's keep building as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. Thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
New It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street.